Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask question 95 of 2017 to the Honourable Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations. The National Employment Centre Act is mandated to register unemployment clients as a one-stop shop and undertake placements into one of the employment creation centres. Can the Minister explain in this House what is the rate of placement of the other programs which is being pursued by the National Employment Centre to boost placements of graduates in the employment market? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Paulatini for his question. Yes, the National Employment Centre actually has 3 employment services that we currently operate, so that people that are coming to the National Employment Centre, all the unemployed in Fiji, have the option of taking up either of these 3 employment services. The first employment services is what we call the formal employment service. And this is for those that wish to take up some formal employment domestically in Fiji. People coming out of secondary schools or those who have left employment from places of higher learning, they can come and register with the intent of taking up this formal employment service. That's the first one, Madam Speaker, the formal employment service. Then we also have the Fiji volunteer service, where there are options open also for those coming out of schools or from institutions of higher learning, or even those who are retired. They have the opportunity of becoming volunteers, either domestically in Fiji, within our shores, and also increasingly now as a result of requests from other nations in other countries in the Pacific. So, and the third one that we have is the foreign employment service, and included in this, Madam Speaker, are the seasonal workers that we are now currently sending across to New Zealand and to Australia. Under the formal employment service, if somebody wishes to follow that path, we have established a system of work attachments. You know that when people come out of school or when they come out of Institute of Higher Learning, they have a lot of knowledge, but they have not really learned how to apply that knowledge in a work setting. The nous of the job, the special tricks of the trade that you cannot learn from an institute of learning, but that you need to learn from somebody who's actually practiced the work. And there's also a need for them to learn how to work in teams, to be creative, to be able to search for information, to learn all of these things. So as part of the formal employment service program, we have this 6 months work attachments that we invite employers to take unemployed people for 6 months attachment so they can obtain work experience, they can learn some basic ethics, they can build their capacities, and as a result of this, they become more well-rounded and they have the opportunity of getting further employment later on. In this work attachment, the Ministry of Employment provides an allowance, and a portion of that allowance has to be paid by the employer. It's an allowance of only $60, but it's basically to assist the person under work attachment to come to the place where they're getting attachment and go back. The other half of that attachment is paid by the employer. And some of the things that we're doing for formal attachment is not limited to what we do in our ministry. We also know that under the FERCA, they now also have an employment taxation scheme in which they have incentives to encourage employers to take on employees for the first time. They, for instance, give a 200% tax deduction for wages of those having their first full-time employment. We also have a 200% work placement for students. We know now that students that are studying at some of our institutes of higher learning, in order for them to graduate, they need a certain work attachment within a workplace. So that 200% work placement for students gives an incentive for employers to be able to provide that opportunity. The other program that we have, as I mentioned before, is the Fiji Volunteer Services Graduate Volunteer Program. So we're now having a lot of graduates that come out from institutes. If they do not have the opportunity to get employment straight away, they can apply to become a graduate volunteer so that they can be placed within NGOs or with employers. Graduate volunteers at the moment For these graduate volunteers, the employer will be giving them an allowance of around $60, and $60 is provided by the ministry. We also have volunteers now, our retired teachers, our retired nurses. Some of them are being sought by other countries. We have teachers, for instance, MOAs with countries such as the Marshall Islands. We are now considering also teachers to be on the request of the government of Tuvalu, for retired teachers also to be sent to Tuvalu, and also discussing about requests also from Tuvalu for retired nurses. So all of these can become part of this program for the volunteer program. And the last one, Madam Speaker, is that we've been, something that is now in discussion all across Fiji, is foreign employment. Foreign employment provides seasonal employment opportunities for clients to both Australia and New Zealand in horticulture, and through the skills category under the Canterbury Rebuild Program and the accommodation and hospitality sector in Australia. Madam Speaker, from 2014 to 2016, the number of placements under the formal employment service, this includes those under work attachment and those that are getting permanent employment, totals around 6,269. Those are the numbers that we have. Because there are also people that come and register under National Employment Center, but when they get employed, they do not advise us, so that our database does not capture them as people that have been able to get employment. Under the Foreign Employment Service, Madam Speaker, we have been able to place 667 workers in various countries around the world. 667 workers, on a calculation at the very least, they will be earning additional income of around $13 million, and a significant portion of that money comes back into our economy. And the Fiji Volunteer Services from 2014 to 2016, the number is around 124. We expect that these numbers will continue to grow, given the positive economic growth that we are experiencing, and we through this, we'll be able to provide continued assistance to those that are seeking employment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Jalila Kumar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Supplementary question. The Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations explained the activities undertaken by the Ministry to ensure that services provided by the National Employment Centre effectively assist Fijians in searching for and securing employment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We always say that one of the, I think, the most critical resource in any country is its human resource. And if we have more people that are unemployed, as the Honorable Biman Prasad likes to say, it's an opportunity cost to the country when we cannot employ them. So we're always trying to make sure that as we produce these graduates from our institutes of higher learning, from our schools, that we try to give them additional qualities, additional competencies that make them more marketable, that make them more productive, so that they can contribute effectively to our country. So one of the things that we do in the National Employment Center, as people register, we've tried to provide them with some life skills. Some of the things they will not learn in your traditional educational curricula. Some of the things about having great dreams, having visions, having more confidence in themselves. Things that are related to emotional intelligence. Nowadays, you know, the research is saying around the world that the most successful people around the world are not necessarily the smartest, but some that are able to control their emotional intelligence, control how they react to things, and also the idea of being able to be persistent even in times of difficulties. So these life skills, they are something that people that are registered with the National Employment Center, they get training in the life skills. As well as that, we also conduct aptitude tests, because all of us have different aptitudes. Some people will be good in certain things, others will be good in other things. So if people are given aptitude tests, we can identify what their special aptitudes are, so that they can channel their life towards the kinds of occupations that can optimize on the aptitudes that they have. Aptitude tests are provided. Professional counseling is done as a result of the aptitude test, to point out to the people being registered where it is likely that they will have success. I've already mentioned about the work attachments. That is also something which gives them the opportunities for hands-on experience to show their potential to their employers. A lot of employers take on people as attaches, and they have the opportunity to observe them over 6 months, and during that 6 months they'll be able to identify which of those attaches they would like to take on for employment. In some cases, for some people that are coming out of primary schools or secondary schools, now with the partnership that we have with the technical colleges, people also have the opportunity to hook on to employment skills training and the certificate 2-level programs that are conducted by the technical colleges. Recently, over these past 2 weeks, we have been conducting employer forums where we call employers together and we talk about these services. We hope to be able to partnership with all employers. These forums have been held in Suva, Lambasa and Notoka, and we intend next week to carry them out to the west so we can develop partnerships and also sign memorandums of agreements with employers so that they can take on more of these unemployed people or unemployed youth, give them that hands-on experience that they have. I think the seventh thing that we have in the National Employment Center that is assisting people seeking employment is the establishment of a NEC database. NEC database, as people register into NEC, we list down all of their requirements, what their experiences are, what their qualifications are. So if an employer is looking for a person with a certain kinds of qualifications or a certain list of competencies, we can go through the NEC database and provide a list of those people that we have in our database that matches those qualifications. That list can then be provided to the employer, who can then contact them directly. There are some issues with this database at the moment. We need to make sure that it's been cleaned up, so that it's accurate, so that it can be a tool that employers use. So those, Madam Speaker, are some of the things that we're trying to do in order to effectively assist Fijians who are searching for employment and also provide some assistance to the employers who are looking for Fijians to work in their organizations.